Today, we're going to tackle something that I know trips up a lot of people, staring at a blank Kubernetes YAML file and just freezing. If that sounds familiar, this explainer is absolutely for you. We are going to replace that anxiety with a super simple framework that you will never, ever forget.
Hey everyone, and welcome to vCloud Labs. I'm really glad you're here today because we're diving into one of the most common hurdles for developers in the cloud-native world. And trust me, getting over this one is going to make your life with Kubernetes so much easier.
So let me ask you a question, and be honest. Have you ever been there? Maybe you're in a job interview, or you're starting a brand new project, and the moment that blank YAML editor pops up on screen, your mind just goes completely blank. Yeah, you are definitely not alone.
Let's talk about that moment, right? That dreaded empty canvas, the blank YAML file. It feels like it's staring back at you, doesn't it?
And here's the crazy part. You know what a deployment is. You get the concept. You've probably typed kubectl apply hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. But when you have to actually write one from scratch, poof, it's like all that knowledge just vanishes into thin air.
And you know what's even more infuriating? It's when you finally manage to type something out, it looks perfectly logical, it feels right, and Kubernetes just flat out rejects it. That feeling is universal, and it is so frustrating.
And these are the anxieties that start racing through your head, right? What's the right order for everything? Which of these fields are actually required? Oh no, is my indentation off by just one single space? And of course, the classic, is it apps/v1 or is it just v1? We are going to put all of that to rest today.
So the solution here isn't about memorizing more stuff. It's not about flashcards. It starts with a really crucial shift in how you even think about Kubernetes manifests in the first place.
Okay, let's really dive into this, because this is the core of it all. A Kubernetes manifest is not a script. You're not writing a list of commands telling Kubernetes how to do something step by step. No. Instead, you are describing a declarative state. You're simply telling Kubernetes what you want the world to look like when it's all done.
I love this way of thinking about it. You define the destination, that final desired state. Kubernetes, with all its amazing controllers and control loops, figures out the journey all by itself. Your job is to say what, and Kubernetes' job is to figure out how.
So how do we actually describe that destination? Well, it turns out that every single Kubernetes manifest, from the most basic pod to the most complex thing you can imagine, is really just answering four fundamental questions.
And here it is. This is all you need to remember. AKMS. AKMS. API version, kind, metadata, and spec. This little acronym is the key. It's the framework that will let you write any Kubernetes manifest with total confidence every single time. So let's break it down. First up, A is for apiVersion. This is the absolute first thing you have to tell Kubernetes. You're essentially saying, hey, Kubernetes, I'm about to describe something, and here are the rules and the schema I want you to use to understand it.
The analogy is perfect. It's like telling a compiler which version of a programming language you're using. If you get this part wrong, if the AP version isn't right, Kubernetes literally won't even bother looking at the rest of the file. Nothing else matters.
Next up is K for kind. Okay, so Kubernetes knows the rules to follow. Now you have to tell it what it is you're actually trying to create. Is this a pod? Is it a deployment? A service? A config map? Now, don't let its simplicity fool you. This one field is incredibly powerful. The kind you choose determines which controller inside the Kubernetes cluster is going to be responsible for it. And that, in turn, dictates its entire behavior, how it scales, how it heals itself, the whole shebang. All right, moving on to M for metadata. See, Kubernetes doesn't deal with anonymous objects. Everything, and I mean everything, needs to have an identity so it can be tracked, managed, and found later. So inside metadata, you're always going to have a name. You'll usually have a namespace too. This is also where you put labels, which are critical for grouping things, and annotations, which are for passing extra info to other tools. Think of it like the object's passport. And finally, we get to S for spec. This right here is the heart and soul of the manifest. This is where you lay out in detail the exact desired state that you want Kubernetes to create and maintain for you.
And this brings us right back to that declarative mindset. In the spec for a deployment, you don't write a command like, create 3 pods. No, you say replicas 3. What you're really saying is, I declare that the desired state of the universe is for 3 copies of this pod to always be running. If one dies, Kubernetes' job is to bring a new one up.
Today, we're going to tackle something
Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this all comes together. Let's look at how these 4 simple letters, AKMS, form a real working Kubernetes object.
And here it is. Check this out. This is basically the smallest possible, complete, and valid manifest for a pod. And look, it's got an API version? Check. It's got a kind? Check. It's got metadata with a name? Check. And it's got a spec that describes the containers. It follows our AKMS framework perfectly.
All right, that looks pretty good on a slide, but seeing is believing. Let's do a quick demo.
So the crucial point, the main thing I want you to walk away with, is this. You do not need to memorize Kubernetes manifests. You just don't. All you need to do is remember those 4 letters, AKMS. If you can remember that, you can build anything.
So there you have it. The next time you are staring down that blank YAML file, just stop, take a breath, and just remember AKMS. I really hope this helps you conquer Kubernetes YAML for good. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this helpful, please be sure to follow and subscribe to vCloud Labs for more content just like this. See you in the next one.